Y'all, I want you to look at this interesting debate on how Democrats finesse black people. If you don't know what black people, they kind of trick you into trick you for your votes. So man, listen to this conversation, and it's like a roundtable conversation. So let's play this. And
shout out to Anton Daniels.
Shout out to
another
Anton.
great video. You know, I feel like you got to have a certain type of personality to be able to be in these types of discussion.
You absolutely do, and you can't be emotional.
With those minds.
You can't be emotional.
Right. He does a good job with this type of stuff. These types of conversations.
That's what we thought it was a joke.
Listen.
That's what we thought it was a joke.
If we really want to go through and we talking about feelings over policy, we had no new wars. We brought all of the American troops home. He renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement that Clinton put in place to have all of your jobs going overseas in the first place. He got the tariffs against China that Biden still got in place today while they sitting there talking about it's going to raise the cost of living. He literally invested in HBCUs. That's a fact. He worked with Tim. He worked. No.
You just gonna sit here and tell that story?
No. Listen, no, that's not a story. That's a fact.
The Biden administration did the same thing. So
but it's not something that's I'm taking
because
against.
They quick to talk about what Biden didn't do for black people.
You still trying to compare and contrast. What I'm trying to say is,
let's go.
These are the things that he did in office. When he left office, inflation was at 1.2%. 1.2%.
You do understand it takes 8 years
because of the rules. Because it was at 1.2% because of the rules that Obama put into place.
That's not true.
Ma'am. No, ma'am.
Listen.
No, ma'am.
How do you have more immigration into this country, which is estimated at 15 million people coming in here, than any other time during our lifetime?
I got one. We wouldn't have all of that in place if Trump did what he said he was going to do and build the wall.
No, that's not true.
Oh my God! Please.
Hold on, wait.
He said he was building a wall and he ain't never built the wall.
That's
it's not true.
He's a liar. Just like this nigga.
Every time I go to Mexico, I see.
That's not what happened.
See, that's what ignorant.
Let me tell you about the immigration bill, along with the CHIPS Act and the infrastructure bill.
This nigga be reading right here.
So this is what happened during the immigration bill. First of all, they didn't introduce it until 2023. In 2021 and 2022, we already had over 10 million people cross over the border. That's number one. Number two, they sued Texas for protecting their borders and letting people in. They wanted them to open up the borders. The bill for making sure that they closed off the border, the bipartisan agreement, the reason that Republicans didn't go for it is because they was tying it as a homeland security bill in order to continue to fund Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel.
Get them.
And so Republicans said that's a different issue. We don't want that as a whole bill. And so they killed the bill. And you know what they still did? Over the last 2 months, they closed off the border. You don't need a bipartisan bill in order to add more agents to the border in order to prevent people from getting in and doing the job. That's not a bipartisan agreement. You as the president of the United States of America and the vice president.
So you know what's one of the main ways they get
No. You mentioned the bill. You mentioned the bill.
Please.
And I'm giving you the insight in that you're wrong. It's something that they're promoting to you, but it's not truth. It's a white lie. That means it's a little bit of truth in there, but the real details is if you actually read the bill.
Yeah, and that's what a white lie is. I thought a white lie is when a white person start lying.
He declined the bill in order to promote his family.
Please don't say
He didn't decline the bill. He said that we don't want to continue to
ignorant you is. Please.
war. We had no wars, no new wars when he was president of the United States of America. Zero.
He said we don't fight nobody.
Can we
do a lot of things.
Hold on, pause for 1 second. I said that, and TK says, he said, he's so polite. He said, we got a white person in here. I said, she not white, Tara black girl. She's African American.
I'm just saying, man.
If you notice, like, I can always tell somebody that don't know.
That don't know jack.
I can always tell somebody that don't know politics because they're trying to divert to something they can relate to more so than this conversation. And she's like the white person or not the politics and stuff. See, that's what I have a problem with when sometimes when black folks be trying to argue against something they not 100% sure of. And you get a person that have facts, then the person going to keep just trying to
That's the left,
find
though.
something.
Exactly. That's the left. So
we need to get out of our emotions.
I've seen him with someone else.
The facts, man. The facts.
Why do you think? Because I do think that everybody is emotional when it comes to politics, and it's so crazy because it's so crazy to see how easy it is just controlled every 4 years.
It's like having the Biggie and Tupac conversation.
Every 4 years. Yeah, I hate it. Why do you think people get so passionate about things like this, Reese?
Because it affects you.
Just, like you said, everybody has an opinion and preference.
I like that
shirt. They're strong on it. A lot of people don't like to hear, they don't like to be challenged on their views. That's where the passion side comes from. It, you know, people want to get all extra loud, you know, therefore. So
you know why people don't like being challenged on their views? Because they have formed their views off of opinions, and now they look at it like it's a fact. And when you start giving people facts, they don't want to hear what the real facts are.
She must be talking about the other people at the table, because Anton is talking about what was actually on paper and what was actually done. They're talking about their opinion. So
I think she may be just generally speaking. That's
okay.
what I feel.
Okay.
Let's see.
So they're gonna treat you like the facts that you're giving them is an actual opinion, when in reality what we're saying is true.
Or your mama gave you this view.
That's a fact.
Well, yeah, that's when it's a real problem.
That goes back
Because
to
when
being
it comes
challenged
to
too. You're not gonna
That's why I
challenge
said
your mama.
what goes on in the household.
Yeah,
Is
you-
what
Same thing.
Nah,
for
that's
religion.
cap.
We
Yes,
know
you
around
will.
to religion.
Yeah.
Same thing with
We've
religion.
all-
Most people follow a religion because it's what their parents did.
Yeah.
They never researched
Incorrect.
it.
I agree.
You can get a base from that.
Because he look like a DeBarge. You ain't even look at his
For real.
goddamn policy.
I definitely voted for Obama because he looked like my Uncle Ellis. Rest in peace.
That's a
I
horrible.
voted for Obama because I
Young
wanted
man.
the first black president.
See what I'm saying?
We all voted like
We
idiots.
did.
All of us
We
as
did.
people
Well,
that
not
voted him
all,
in.
but
I'm saying,
many,
the most of us voted for him
Yes.
unconsciously, and just like these people, I can't call them words for doing that, because we did the same exact thing. But the
did.
problem is, if you didn't learn from the previous situation, you keep running on forward with this lady.
And using, the he say, she say, instead of like
What's
Anton
the facts?
said, right, doing your own, but you got to dig a little bit deeper than the surface. You just can't
absolutely.
read something. You got to continue to keep looking.
Absolutely.
You ain't lying.
that's identity
I did.
politics.
I said, we're going to have us a black president.
I was excited.
Everybody was. I'm sorry. That's just the truth.
Like his wife.
My land blowing
Yep.
blue, and I be goddamn if my rooms ain't too, nigga. You talking about Obama winning? Where was y'all at when Obama won? Where was you at when he was probably mad as hell, weren't you?
I was at Club Blue.
I was blue.
I'm sorry. That is plenty.
Was you happy?
But
I was ignorant.
How is this
I didn't know
irony?
anybody.
I was at Trump Towers.
we all
You
look
excited
at everybody at
about
that table
Black
voted
President?
for
You excited about
Obama in the
Black
beginning.
No, I was broke as hell. I was trying to figure out how to.
So was you excited? I ain't asked how much money you had in your pocket.
No. We was suffering. You know what I'm
Were
saying?
you excited
07,
about
08, it was rough time.
I'm kind of like, not for real.
I was excited. That was the first president that I got to vote for, because I graduated in 07, and I believe the presidential election was in 2008.
It was the same for me.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm girl,
I
like,
get to vote
but
anyway.
I did do exactly what you said. Like, instead of knowing to do complete research and things like that, but I was like, oh, Democrat.
Girl, I took
But
that.
I will
Yeah, that's-
say,
I mean, that's
what I did
the
start
thing.
learning
That
about
was the thing.
different ideas of
I did the
politics,
same thing.
and just and why I'm always okay with just listening to different opinions when it comes to politics. You got
I'm just
what's
listening.
on your mind? Because
No, I'm just listening.
come on, what's on your mind, Anton?
I just want us to do better, man. I
There we
honestly
go.
do.
What is that,
Like, and I'm
820?
I'm cool.
Okay,
Like,
I'll vote for Trump.
no. See, like,
Do your own research, dude.
like George
Exactly.
Bush was the worst president in my lifetime for me.
George Bush Jr.
second.
He
The
was
The second one, yeah, he was an idiot.
He was
The fooler cannot be fooled again.
So I'm not looking at this election, or I don't look at politicians from the perspective of whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The same way that I don't evaluate people and I say just because you black, you my people.
That's right.
Because some of the people that did
Because
some of the
all
worst things to
skin
me
folk
look,
ain't kinfolk.
and it's the same
They
thing
look
with
like
white
you.
people. It's good white people, it's bad white people. But my thing is, I want us to be more informed and educated, and not just depend on a social media construct in order to give us our talking points.
Yes.
But more importantly, start to find out what the hell is happening in your space, so you can make informed decisions, because you ain't even gonna be the person that's hurt as a result of it. It's gonna be your kids.
Yeah,
Let's-
right.
Your kids gotta live in this world.
Yeah, that was a very, very good point.
And that was a great
She sort of
ending
made
out.
sense towards the end. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
At first, I'm just like, what
Is
are we
this
doing?
humor, or are you for real?
Right.
Because you really need to be do some deep diving.
But we have, as black people, we all, you see how I told you, like, I went from the beginning of the video, like, man, these people, what are they talking about? And then when she said that about voting for Obama and everybody, just know, based on that small microcosm of them and then us talking about it too, most of the people that are black had never seen a black president, and they voted the same way. Not because of man
Exactly.
policies.
Didn't
We all voted because of skin color, and we all thought life was just going to get amazing for black people.
Exactly.
It didn't.
So now, in hindsight, how many years later, it's time to truly dig deep and really pay attention, like, to what's going on. And where are we going to be 8 years down the road? You know, not just 4 years, but 8, you know, and then so on and then so on. I mean, I feel the same way. pull the emotion out of it, and let's really put the facts on the table.
Exactly. I agree. I'm 100%.
And even go back as far as when they were in office, from when the Bushes were president, when the Clintons were president. How long has the Democratic Party been in office?
Yeah.
To say, okay, let's really see what was done, what has been done.
Right. Well, I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, you really got to do your work. And most time, let me just be real, not all black people, but most black people don't really like to, and we said this so many times, don't really like to read into it. Whatever we see from that 2-second clip, that's life. That CNN clip, that's life. And we run off that. So it is time to read, and it's time to do better. All right, man. 2024, be more.
Talk less.
We'll see you on the next one.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Yeah.